Yes, very excited about the opportunity to play in the college football playoff. First opportunity for Michigan State. Also, extremely proud of our football team and our players, and the way they've handled the schedule, the way they've handled the adversity throughout the season, and the way that we've been able to move forward. So, great opportunity versus the University of Alabama. Obviously, I've worked with Coach Saban for 5 years as his secondary coach, back in what seems like forever ago, back in the late 90s. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for him and the University of Alabama and who they are as a program. So it'll be a tremendous challenge, but as I've said all year long, with great challenges, there are also great opportunities, and we'll look forward to that.
Mark, when you guys went down there 5 years ago, obviously different players, different team, different time. It didn't go as well when you played them in a bowl game. Do you see that program and what they've done is a bit of a measuring stick, and going down to play them is a chance to kind of measure the progress made since?
Yeah, I think that Alabama has traditionally been one of the better teams in the country, certainly. And, we were 11-1 as we went down there that particular day and had some turnovers, and it became a rough day as things sort of spun out of control a little bit. But with that being said, I think that's a part of the process here. And that was our first game again in a situation like that, although we played Georgia, I think, in 2008. So, as you move forward, you try and win regular season games, win the Big Ten, win bowl games, and you continually try and take your program to the next challenge, and I think that's part of growth, and we're going to find out if we've grown up a little bit.
Connor, you said a few weeks ago, I don't remember what it was, you said it's not hard to find that chip on the shoulder for you guys. You kind of always play with that, and you had a whole 1 week of being the favorite in a big game, and now I think it opened like 9 points for Alabama already. So is that just kind of the mentality of this team? You just kind of always approach things like most people are looking at somebody else and not you guys, and does that help you in games like this?
Yeah, for sure. Ever since we've been here, since our freshman year, we've always had that mentality to have that chip on our shoulder, and it starts with Coach D, and then obviously all the hard work that we put in the weight room and all the talks and the speeches that Coach Manny's given us kind of just engraves that chip on our shoulder. So you said that we're an underdog to Alabama. Is that what you said? Yeah. So, we love that role. We embrace it, being an underdog. But, it's kind of who we are, as a program with the chip on our shoulder. It's kind of what we've always had. And no matter who we're facing, if we are the underdog, if we are the favorite, no matter what, we go into each and every game trying to prove something.
Mark, you talked about moving past and going past the game when you guys first played Alabama. But at any point over the next 26 days, do you show your team the game footage of what happened and what could happen?
No, I think that was a different time and place. I think we've moved beyond that. The last 3 years, which these guys have all been a part of up here, there's been tremendous amount of success. And, when you look at the big scheme of things, in 2013, we sort of climbed our way to the Rose Bowl, won the Rose Bowl, ended up number 3. Last year we had 2 very big games that were against, I would call, heavyweights at that point in time that played for the national championship. And we were ahead in both those games, but we eventually lost to them. And so the drive was to get farther, and the drive was to play better on a big stage. And so now here we are in the college football playoff. We've got exactly the opportunity that we've worked so hard for since last February, and we're going to see if we measure up. Alabama has certainly had a football team that's been in that situation before, so they know what to expect. We're sort of new on the scene in that type of thing. So there's an excitement here among our football team, I know, and there's a great belief. We've played great teams here. We play against great competition, and you can look across this country and in this conference in particular this year, and you can see the type of people that are in this conference. Played an outstanding football team last night. We'll be ready mentally, but again, we don't play the game this Friday. We play on December 31st, and we'll find the challenges, and we'll see the things that we can do as well, and, somewhere we'll meet in the middle. But we're going to have to play our best. We always do, when our best is needed.
To anyone, I guess Shilique and Darien, I haven't seen the video yet that the university shot of you guys watching the selection, but what was the reaction about? What was the excitement about just seeing your name go up there because you knew where you're in, or going to the Cotton Bowl again, or facing Alabama, or what was it?
I already know what Shilique's going to say, that he wasn't in there, and I wasn't in there either. I'm a little bit of a mind reader here. But, you know, a lot of guys sat in there, and actually I watched it. I was getting treatment at the time. I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to get treatment from yesterday's game. But I had it up on my phone on Watch ESPN, watching it, and it was, you know, cool to see Marty Smith in there and the guys having a little fun. I did, you know, go into the team meeting room to watch it. You know, it's just a situation where, you know, last year we were the team watching another 4 schools get that opportunity, and this year we're the ones getting that opportunity. You know, we're very thankful and blessed for the opportunity, and very happy to be going back to Dallas, going back to the Cotton Bowl. Like Coach D said, we're new on scene in the college football playoff, but at least we've played in that stadium before. You know, we played in AT&T Stadium last year. We've won a huge game there. So in that sense of it, you know, we won't be the new team on the block.
I think you said it all. That's pretty much it.
For Mark and for Jack, last year when you guys were at the Cotton Bowl, you both in particular talked about how good of a bowl it was, just the way it was run, the way it was handled. I'm not saying the Rose wasn't or the others haven't been, but you were specific about that bowl. What was it about that made it so special? Starting with you, Jack, but I'd like you both, please.
Great atmosphere. Playing down there is always fun, but I would just say the hospitality overall is probably one of the biggest things. Everybody down there is nice, and they treat you right, and I think that's that's the kind of thing that set them apart.
Yeah, I would say that the atmosphere, the environment that they create, they go above and beyond to make it a great place for our players. You know, they got a basketball court in there, whole deal. So it was just a great bowl game, and the people were so hospitable. So I just can't say enough about it. I even found a Cotton Bowl deal here today, so pulled it out and just came in. That was last year. So, but we're excited to go back to the Cotton Bowl, and that's going to be a great positive for us. And you know, we have practiced in there, not only played in that stadium, but we practiced in it the entire time that we were there. So we are at least used to the stadium, been in there. Certainly they are as well. They played there before as well, but we have been in it.
Mark, over here on your left, it seems like the reaction on campus this afternoon was kind of low key to the achievement that you guys accomplished relative to other achievements you guys have enjoyed over the last 3 or 4 years. Is that an example of that the expectations have grown so much that people here expected you guys to win last night, and the fact that you're making the playoffs was kind of like was an expectation?
Well, I think that I'm not sure how it was here last night. I heard things, but it was crazy in Indianapolis, and I think that probably everybody's pretty tired today. And you know, when the light came out, you know, everybody was just like, okay, they're in. So I don't think that really anybody had to make an announcement to think that Michigan State was going to be in the playoff. I mean, I think last night was a done deal when we won that football game, and I think everybody celebrated and tried to get 2 for 1 in last night. So, but I do believe, though, I agree with you. I think the expectations here have certainly grown. They're much higher than they were previously. And you know, when we first came here, it was, can we get to a bowl game? That's what it was. When these guys came in 2011, I think all of them came in 2011, were freshmen at that time. That was the first bowl that we had won down at the Outback Bowl. And we made it to the championship game that year and played Wisconsin. So that was new ground as well for us. So, but that's the great thing about college football. That's the great thing about sports, is that you can always try and continue to grow, and that's what we've always been about here, just try and expand your life experiences and try and grow as people and try and become more mature and handle bigger problems. Some of the problems are on football fields, but handle those problems and grow as people. You know, these are life moments for these guys to be up here and to have this type of media attention as we go to the Cotton Bowl and this type of national exposure for the program, for the university, for all of us, for myself included. And these are things that will serve us for a lifetime, an experience that we'll look back on.
For Connor and excuse me, and Jack, last year you guys set a lot of records. Michigan State's won a lot of ball games, 38 out of 42. But nationally, there's kind of a but.
there's no SEC win on your resume. How important is it to get a win over a program like Alabama to maybe establish your legacy, or as Coach Dantonio says, to prove where the program measures up to?
Well, I think obviously we didn't play, but we beat Georgia in 2011. That was our freshman year, so we do have a win on our resume, but we didn't really play in it in the Outback Bowl. But I mean, coming to a school like Michigan State, you want to play against the best. You want to play with the best, and I think the Big Ten obviously has gotten put back on the map, and playing against teams like Ohio State and Iowa is great. And you come to a program like this to compete at a very high level and to play against teams like Alabama and schools like that you can possibly meet in a bowl game. And a win over an SEC team is great, especially if it is Alabama, who over the last couple of years, 10 years or whatever, however many years it's been, they have a lot of national championships under their belt. So a win like that could be huge for this program.
I would say we don't have a SEC win on our resume, like you said, but at the same time, we've played a lot of good football teams these last couple of years, and I think we've proven ourselves year in and year out, and I think we're looking forward to what we're going to play in Alabama.
This is for Connor, and I know you were asked this after the game last night, Connor, but in retrospect, how much do you think the shoulder affected you last night? How does it feel now, and how much better do you think it can get in 25 days?
Right. Looking at it, obviously it wasn't 100%, but, when you're out there with a dinged shoulder, you are kind of cautious. You are kind of, thinking in the back of your mind, if I get tackled, could I possibly injure it more? If I land on a certain way, could I possibly injure it more? So there were times where I was a little hesitant on throws and trusting the pocket. But these next few weeks are going to be huge for the progress, that I've made over the last 3 weeks from how it felt the Ohio State week to now. Has been, very, very good. So I feel like I'm going to make even more improvements. Resting my arm, not throwing as much, and just being in the training room, living in the training room, getting the treatment that I need to get back to full health.
I know you're supposed to address a specific person, but it's kind of general. But Mark, and you've talked a lot about how building this program is a lot about not just this team, but the guys who've been here in the past and have helped get it to this point. So I'm just wondering if any of you guys, or even you, Mark, have heard from former players or former teammates since last night, what they've said about the fact that you guys are in the playoffs and how those conversations have gone.
I talked to Darquez Denard, Mylan Hicks, a lot of guys, that just communicate with us on a daily basis. It's not just because we're in the playoffs. I think we keep constant communication with our former players because of the relationship that we built here at Michigan State with them. But they were just happy, proud that we had this opportunity. And then I think Quez said it to us, I think maybe before the game. He was like, man, I wish I was on this team with you guys, I wish I could be playing with you guys. And I think they're just proud, they're proud of their accomplishments and also of what we've accomplished over this year. But like I said, it's always communication between us and former players because, the relationship that we have and the relationship that Coach D has helped us build. So they're just more so proud of us and just looking forward to us pushing forward.
Yeah, I would echo that we hear from a lot of people. I shot Kirk Cousins a text, said, "You like that?" His big happy face, So you hear from a lot of different people over the course of time. These are special times in our lives, and I think we're connected.
Actually, I would like Shilique and Jack, if you could both address this, please. Just talk about the mindset of this being a team that expects to win. And when you guys have your backs against the wall, I know that Rasheed Wallace used to say, if it ain't rough, it ain't right. Just kind of the mentality you guys have developed this season and embracing that adversity and really rising up to get the best out of everybody on this team in those situations and how that might serve you going forward against a team like Alabama in this game.
I wouldn't say we have our backs against the wall. We have just as much to gain as Alabama. Another opportunity to make it to the national championship. But I would say that we just understand it's going to be a grind. Each and every game is going to be a grind. it's not only this game that has been tough that's going to be tough for us. It's going to be every game that we compete in, because everyone has top level players and top level coaches also. So for the guys, we understand that we're playing for something bigger than ourselves, and we're playing for something bigger than just a Big Ten title now. We're playing for an opportunity to make it to a national championship, and I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said to those guys for them to want to push forward and understand that we need to reach higher, as Coach D would say.
So much with this team and how you guys can lean on that, or if
I would say since all of us have gotten here since 2011, nothing that we've gotten has ever been given to us. We've had to fight through adversity, fight through hard times, and we've earned everything we've gotten, and it just showed again last night. Nothing's ever given to you. You got to go out there and earn it.
Mark, when you were on the teleconference a little bit ago, when you hear Nick Saban's kind of grubbly voice on the other end, does it take you back to like a flashback to Nam, so to speak, of like 1995?
Oh yeah, it takes me back. I was Nick's secondary coach for 5 years, so I learned a tremendous amount of football, organization, preparation. So much of what we do in terms of preparation and in terms of technique and things, even though it may be different defenses and those type of things, there's so much terminology and technique that's involved in really defensive and offensive things. And my mindset as a football coach has been shaped by the people I've worked for. Certainly Jim Tressel I've talked about a lot, but Nick Saban is probably the guy too that from a defensive system certainly, and then also from just an overall football system. You want to be a spread team, you want to be able to run the ball, but power run, you want to be physical, you want to be tough, you need to have great knowledge of what you do. Those are the three things that he constantly preached, the three things that took no ability. And those are the three characteristics that I constantly talk to our players. And, so a lot of what I learned when I was here, and let's not be, it is difficult. It's difficult. There are challenges. You guys know that. But I think my relationship with Coach Saban, with Nick Saban, is excellent, and he's truly a mentor of mine.
I guess to Mark and Shilique, if you'd touch on this, in my line of work, I like to think the harder we work, the luckier we get. And in that regard, you've had a lot of amazing things happen, quirky things. The Jalen Watts-Jackson touchdown, the one off Shilique's head that resulted in a touchdown. Interception off somebody's back again last night. I think it happened twice this year. I guess what I'm wondering is, do you think destiny is on your side at all? Do you believe in that garbage?
To clarify, I batted that ball. That wasn't off my head. I got a lot better vision than you just made it seem like. But no, I don't think it was luck. I think that we work hard and our coaches put us in a great position to make plays. Things happen. And of course, by the grace of God, we're able to be in the right position at the right time. And biggest thing is just keep working, keep pushing forward, keep working hard, and good things will happen. But I definitely wouldn't say our football team is lucky, because we go out and we compete. We work hard for every inch that we get.
Well, I think I said it last night. I'm not afraid to sit up here in front of everybody and say I think we have God's favor at times. I really do believe that. Along with that, is this football team knows how to win. We'll play every down, every single down, whether we're behind at Baylor by 20 points or whatever the case. We're going to play every single down. And that's what comes with when you have a long line of winning. Now, Alabama has that too. I'm looking at their statistics here. It's sort of daunting here. But so that's why we're in the college football playoff. That's why they're in it. But our players understand how to win football games. They understand how to play and make big plays and big gains on big stages. And that's been something that's been occurring here for some time. I don't know what our record is against top 10 teams. Is it 7-1 now? Is it 7-1 now? I'm asking. Is that what it is? 7 of the last 8. That's 7-1. So we have played on a big stage, and we played in front of a lot of people, and we're used to success, and if we don't have success, it bothers us, and we're going to keep pushing. Doesn't ensure success, but we're going to keep pushing, and we're going to have an edge to what we do. And That's just how this has been built. And I go back to, the question that was asked me before. There is a lot of what we have done here has been carryover from the people that I have worked with in the past. And so there's a lot of similarities in that fact.
I know a lot of the storyline is going to be the similarities between these programs, Mark, and the way you've built it, but I was looking at these recruiting rankings, and Connor and Shilique are in the 900s, and Darien's 617, and Jack's the star at 545. And you go up against you go up against a program that annually recruits the best in the country. So I guess I'll go with you, Darien. You're a journalism major. You can address this. How do you put this into perspective when you're playing these athletes that were rated so much higher than you and so much more has been expected of in their careers?
Well, it's one thing that I remember Joe said before the Ohio State game is that they put their pads on just like we do. 1 foot, one leg's got to go in the football pants at a time. And just when I think of guys that play at Alabama, I think of the Coandro brothers who I played with in high school. I think of Cyrus Jones, who's their starting corner now, starting punt returner who I played against in high school. And I'm sure guys up here, know guys probably that play for them. So at the end of the day, they're still our peers. They're still guys that we played against with in high school. We still had the same dreams, goals, and aspirations coming out of high school, and we were still the same, caliber of players. They're ranked, 2, we're ranked 3, and it's for a reason. It's because we've been extremely successful in what we've been able to do this season. And, we don't get the big recruits, and we talk about that all the time, but, that's not really our thing, and it doesn't really bother us. And the fact that the coaches can take us as 2- and 3-star recruits and develop us into high-caliber players is a testament to this program.
So a question for Jack. Connor mentioned it when he received his award last night, and Coach Saban made reference to it when they asked him how much of Michigan State he had seen, and he said the 22-play drive. When you look back at that drive and going forward, what does that say about this team and about this program that drive is something that people identify with as far as the success?
I would say for us, it just shows that we're a tough football team, and we're going to play every play, like Coach D said, no matter what the score is, no matter what the circumstance is. We're going to go out there and play, and if we got to go 22 plays, we're going to go 22. If we got to go 30, we're going to go 30.
Hey, for Mark and anybody else who would like to address, I just wanted to ask about Trevin Pendleton and the toughness he showed last night. Obviously, not fully healthy, but especially on that last drive being out there. What did you guys see from him last night and during the week leading up to the game? Well,
he didn't practice on Tuesday, as I remember. And Wednesday was a little bit limited, but he gutted it out and he found a way. And when you get to these moments in your life, you're going to find out some way, somehow, to get on the football field if you're capable, if you're able. And that's what happened. And we've seen that across the board. Really, we saw that against Penn State with Connor. We've seen that with Jack. We've seen that with Shilique and Darien. And so many of our players. Injuries are going to happen, and everybody goes through them. Every football team's gone through them. My perspective is it makes our football team stronger. It's provided a lot more experience. We're going to get R.J. Williamson back for this game, so that'll be a boost in our secondary, so that's a positive as well. Injuries are part of it, but our guys will gut it out. Incidentally, I want to add that we've got some outstanding, very high-quality committed recruits coming here that are very highly regarded. And incidentally, also, as you walk down that hallway over there in the indoor facility, there's about 34 names of guys that are playing in the NFL, guys like Le'Veon Bell and Quez Denard and Trey Waynes and Kirk Cousins, and on it goes. On and on it goes. So we've got a lot of players that are playing at the highest level. And that's why we're successful as well. We've got good players. Either they've been developed, they've matured, or they were what they were when they came out. So we've got good players, and they expect success.
Thanks a lot, guys.